Hector. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man, bless up, Nikki Z. Wagwan.
Long overdue. I'm so proud. I've just been watching all of your works. I don't think I've ever met you, at least I don't remember. But I'm just so proud as a spectator watching your rise. Now, for those who don't know Hector Roots Lewis, take us back to the roots. Your start in music business. How did your entrance happen?
All right. Well, yeah, you don't know. Good evening, Jamaica. This is Hector Roots Lewis, Give thanks for this time here. The Roots man is... Hector Roots Lewis is a brethren who belongs to music, I started music from a tender age, I had a mother who did music, who sang all around the house, and so we're very exposed to that type of, expression and playing certain songs around the house and stuff like that. And she always let us know that we have the gift of music from a tender age. I came and see my sister singing with my mother, my brother. So from there, we're always intrigued to certain musical events, from church to when in prep school and in elementary school, and they have recital or they have activity that is musical. We want to be a part of it because we were trained up that way. So we did that and, enter competitions in high school, right up to college. As a matter of fact, the last part of high school, I decided to go to Performing Arts College, which is Edna Manley College, which I enrolled in 2008. And that was where the whole journey of taking music serious came about and how to make it a career,
Yeah, well, it kind of sounded like you were serious about it before Edna Manley, though.
Well, I mean, the love of it, I feel like love for anything, if you love something, it gets you to that state, to that state of mind. And so I was always exposed to tutors and creative directors who were very meticulous about the craft and the art. And so I had to be that kind of state of mind to deal with it.
Yeah, but even though you say they were very meticulous in the way they were teaching you, you definitely have a style that's very different than most artists that I've heard in recent time from Jamaica. Overall, really. So where does this very eclectic style that Hector Roots Lewis has come from?
Well, it come from the influences, growing up. I never really started out necessarily wanting to necessarily be an artist, but I started out singing. That was the first instrument that I explored. And then along the lines, I saw drums and I took to that, and I even saw movement through dancing, and I took to that from a more street style. So everything.
Wait, did you just say dancing?
Yeah, dancing. Yeah, dancing and going to dance too. Cause that's where we dance seriously. So that makes up my whole way of how I do music, because it coming from a foundational thing. Everything that make up the music for me is always like I try to bring my love for the foundational music into what's happening now. I never always thought of myself as a songwriter, but as soon as I got exposed to the expression, I realized that it's an expression that allow you to say what you want to say. And so having listened to all these singers and all these artists and creative people that I love, I through the lineage of my mother feel like I could have take a try. It's a legacy thing. I mean, she never played drums. I mean, most of my music journey that people know is me playing drums, percussion, working in that way, singing a little bit, but not necessarily stepping forward. So yeah, it's just the elements of the foundation, the traditional, and definitely the world styles of music as well, from the jazz to the bossa nova to even calypso styles, compa from Haiti, different thing, wide. Yeah, wide. It's a wide style,
I get to hear it. You definitely have a lot of different elements. But your first real official professional musician job, was it in Chronic's band? Is that where it started professional for you? Or was there something else prior to that?
Yeah, there was something else. There was Shereen Anderson, after I did my third year recital. A few years after that, I got called to be in her band, and I played drums for her for about 2 years. probably 2 to 3 years, and we toured. So that was my first professional going out on the road, and it was a great experience, sharing and this to big up ourselves.
Yeah.
One of the artists who is also a creative like myself, who lend to different styles of the art and explore even different aspects of music industry itself and stuff like that. So I was exposed really well.
Yeah.
But Chronics definitely brought me
Next level.
brought me into a next level. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that I would say is what bring me to where I'm at right now, to the heights that I'm at right now.
Yeah. Was it a hard decision? I mean, when you made the transition to say, all right, I'm gonna now make my focus myself, step out as Hector Roots Lewis, was the decision hard? Were you still transitioning between being a drummer for a band, or what was going on when the transition happened?
The transition was more out of my control, for say. It was more like just a natural thing.
Yeah.
Woke
up one morning and said, I'm gonna do this by myself.
No, not even. Like, all right, so it really started when Chronic started to encourage us in the band to write music. Write music.
So he pushed you guys to also do stuff like this.
Yeah, man. It's like a mixture between. I had a little interest after a while being developed, where some of the things he was doing in terms of like just being a lead singer, I started to see the role in a different way, and it was amazing to me, meaning that it intrigued me to hear the different styles he was using, and some styles he was using, some of them we never ever start with, but he's a brethren who learn and study and stuff and work on music and get good. So I see those things and start to kind of imitate them to add a extra energy vocally in the show.
Another
layer. To the point where it started to give me an energy. And then in the same breath and the same time, he started to encourage everybody in the band to write music, and you must write music, if we write music together and write music individually. And then after that, we started to have this thing on the road called Zinc Friends Jam Sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when now every man is supposed to come and do the music that they've been working on, or any music to, cause you could even do a cover to and arrange it and stuff, cause
it was about a vibe.
Yeah, but I ended up being the one out of the band separate from Jamar that had music working on, cause I kind of just, like I said, the thing give me a vibes and I just dive into it. And that was that. After that, I met up with some brethren in New York called Dre Tegs, and they asked, they said to me, yo, we see how do music, come make some music with us now. And we do that, and the journey continued until we reached in the pandemic and we couldn't move, and we ended up having to find a way to make music in Jamaica. And that's where we now started to see who is the producers in Jamaica.
But why do you say that that's a hard thing? There seems to be studios on every single corner block in Jamaica, but you say it like it was a difficulty.
No, it's like I don't know who know me, and vice versa, and I didn't know how to start and to open the door and who to call and stuff like that.
Ah, okay.
But which I know is kind of surprising, being that we're in the industry ourselves. Yeah. But I just didn't know to start that road of songwriting collaboration with producers. But I had already identified that I would want to be somebody produced, based on the fact that I started songwriting so late in my life.
Yeah.
So I don't mind being produced, because I'll be the athlete that run, and the coach tell me what to do. Yeah, and we'll learn over time, because we will learn and we'll become the teacher too. So
it's funny you say so late in life. It's funny you say late in life, and you literally look like you're like 22 or some like young boy type thing. Hey, don't say another word though, because we got to drop a song real quick. Hector Roots Lewis is on the line. He's got a new song, but we're not going to drop that yet. Let's groove a bit and come back with more. That's another a piece of another big song brought to you by Hector Lewis. That one is called Let's Groove. Now let's fast forward because I don't want to run out of time and not get this story. Tribal Seeds. Yeah, this beat, right? I love this beat. Tribal Seeds. Tell me now, how do we go from, you literally went from playing drums in a band, then you're touring the world, different artists, then you're catching the bug to do your own music. And then how, it's like literally it seemed the minute you dropped music, the next story I'm hearing is that now you're the front man for Tribal Seeds. Like, how did that dot connect each other?
Well, Nikki, I can't tell you how it connects either. I just feel like in the natural algorithm of artistry and works going out, a lot of the things just happen like that. Tribal Seeds told me they've seen me many times and I've always admired, the talent. And so I guess when my whole journey started to go into the direction of being a songwriter now, it all made sense to the universe, and the universe just line it up. It's a great thing, man. It's a great thing. I'm glad for that.
A lot of people don't know it. A lot of people don't really understand it. So if you tell some people, especially on the island, that you're the front singer for Tribal Seeds, they'll look at you with the boo-boo face like, what is a Tribal Seeds? You know what I mean? But talk to them about the band Tribal Seeds and what you know about them to Jamaica.
Well, yeah. First of all, the scene, the Cali Roots scene is a nice scene, and is a set of people who respect the music and respect Jamaica, that make the music. Tribal Seeds is a set of people where them airy, them down to earth, them rootical. And why I say rootical is because rootical for me, even though it's a thing synonymous with Rasta and Jamaica and reggae, rootical to me is the tradition, is the origin, is the keeping the traditions of your culture. And these are some Mexican. This band have Mexicans, Cuban, and Italian in there. You know what I mean? And if you know anything about Mexico, and Mexico, you know that it's rich in
deep
culture.
In culture. Yeah, don't play with that.
And one of the members is from Cuba, which is just 90 miles from Jamaica. So the universe was really intentional in how them put me amongst these people, because them share one thing that I also share, which is culture. And they love the music, and them is just some Irish people, and them just love reggae. They talk about how them used to play other music, but as individual, but as teenagers, them grew up to the reggae and get infectious by the reggae.
Right.
A lot of people, it's so cool people, man. They just love it.
They look at a lot of these other bands, and a lot of people just constantly scream appropriation. I've been trying to explain to the listeners, and that's why we even started something on Wednesdays where we talk to bands, that they're not exactly doing reggae how you would assume. They're not going booyaka, Irie, yaman. A lot of them are taking what's going on in their environment, in their neighborhoods, but putting it to that same authentic beat, that energy that was basically what they loved growing up and what they fell in love with. So how would you describe this love to everybody else?
You see, reggae music is a consciousness.
Yeah.
I've really grown to realize that when you have the music with you in your heart and in your mind, and you're traveling these different parts of the world where masses of people are looking to you for this music.
Yeah.
It's a conscious thing because it gather everybody.
Yeah.
And so from it was released out of the country, and the great Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, all these great persons, my mother Barbara Jones, go across the world and bring this music. It was inevitable that people was going to love it, and that in a conscious way, it did go latch on to people. If some people in Jamaica at one time, in one generation, don't want to do reggae, then it went do somewhere else. And at the end of the day, I've come to appreciate a thing that I see in my mind, which is a global unification of reggae music. Because I feel like whether white, black, yellow, red, from you doing the style of reggae is a win for reggae. You know, it's just that
Yep.
we haven't been able to merge certain bridge to connect them that's the globally around the world where we is like one global industry, you know
I
what I
think it
mean? Where,
becomes too much politics because a lot of people, I'm
yeah,
not going to say they're right or wrong, but they want to hold on to the fact that, well, we're the originators of reggae. So I find even in California, those bands are really what's hitting in California. Those bands are the ones that are really bringing in these humongous numbers, massive crowds. Now, regardless if it's because, white people enjoying white people, I don't really think that's the bigger picture. The picture is business-wise, they're bringing in these big numbers. So when an artist tries to say, well, I demand this or this, and you can't bring in the numbers, that disconnect happens. So we have artists over here who are mad. They don't want to do shows with those bands because they don't feel they get the proper billing. But at the end of the day, the promoter's like, well, I got to do business. I think that's where the disconnect is happening. Maybe I'm wrong.
yeah. No, well, yeah, I mean, like I said, some of the things that happening now is way before even I and I time.
Yeah.
I can't really give no fullness. It's just what I've seen and what I've experienced. And you know what I mean? We know some history, but it's not the full, so I can't give no full take on it. But one thing we know still is as we progress towards the future, some great inevitable things are gonna just happen, you know what I mean? Because mankind and humanity and it's just how it is. We can't explain it.
I have to release ego, humble thyself, release ego, and think about the bigger pictures in the long term. However that looks for you. I don't think me or Hector could write anybody else's history but our own. And right now, Hector's got a brand new song. The song is called No Better Than Yard. Tell me about the song.
Yeah. No better than yard. Think about it, Nikki. Tell me somewhere that is more better than your own yard.
My club, bed and pillow, but that's still inside yard.
That's in your yard. So, this song, that is the first thing with this song. That is literally the layman grab to, go to, meaning, the functionality of the song. Yeah. But this song came about in 2020 during the time when none of us was ready for. These were times we were watching movies and stuff like that. Yeah. We never understood fully what was happening till a year after this thing. And so with all that was happening outside, from the curfews to the social distancing that had to be adhered to unless you're this or that, and to the curfews and them things that were make the place strict, I just felt like being at home was the best place, you know what I mean? And so fast forward, now we're outside, which is great. Mm-hmm. We're happy for that, because even as Jamaican people being outside, that is our vibrance. Yeah. That is the island, and we give thanks. We're able to come back out now and from under government rules and restrictions. Yeah. But it still serves a functionality for say, yo, where can you picture that's better than your yard? So even if you go out 5 days a week or 6 days, you must find a liberation within being at home, and it's nice, especially if you're hygienic and you clean your yard enough.
Yes.
If you clean your yard enough, you're gonna love your yard.
See, I was thinking that when you said it, I'm like, some people got the funky spunk at home. They ain't trying to go home. You know what I mean? House got to be cleaned up a little bit.
But that's what the song is about. And at the same time, if you listen to all 3 songs, we are definitely coming forward to add our consciousness in terms of the mood, in terms of the feeling of the music, the lyrics as best, because it's the thing that we know that we heart latch on to. Absolutely. It's the only thing. Anything else would have come like, pretending really and truly.
Exactly.
And it not access the real purity. So we just have to be conscious same way, you know what I mean? And not that we're better than anybody or anything, but we can value these little things, and I will continue to use
you continue to be humble. You are better than a lot of artists I heard. I'll say it. You might not want to say, but you are better than a couple of artists I done heard.
No,
Hector Lewis on the line. That's right, Hector Lewis on the line. Thank you for hanging out with me today on The Crossover. It was very nice talking to you. Next time you got to come in my studio, though. You have to be in my studio next time.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Give thanks, Nikki, for
Or,
having
or
me.
I'll meet you in California because I'm definitely coming out for Cali Vibes. Booked. I'm hosting all three. Yes, I'll be out there.
Man, what you mean, Nikki Z?
That's
Bring the
another-
thing to them because you create a bridge. On
That's
the bridge.
exactly what we doing. I am tired of being locked
Yeah,
up.
man.
Stop trying to put baby in a box.
Yeah, you know?
Give them your
All
social
right.
media, where people can find you. Anything else you want the listeners to know?
Yeah, so one listeners know first and foremost, we have a project coming, you know what I mean? November 4, I believe.
Nice.
Save that date. Also on social media, it is Hector Roots Lewis Instagram, Hector Roots Lewis Facebook, Hector Roots Lewis SoundCloud, Hector Roots Lewis Audio Mac, Hector Roots Lewis TikTok, and on Twitter is Roots Lewis. And don't forget to stream No Better Than Yard out on all platforms right now, cause essentially and really nowhere is better than your yard.
Absolutely.
Good evening,
And if your
Jamaica.
yard is not,
Love.
if your yard does not
Rastafari.
fit the description, make it fit the description. Start painting, paint. Put some plants up, you know. There's a lot of ways you can change up and clean up your house without spending a bag of money. It ain't even about money. It's about making it a comfortable place where you actually want to relax. It's so important to have a home, a yard that's nowhere better than. Yes, I like that song. Hector Roots Lewis, thank you. Sayonara, amigo.
Respect, you don't know, yeah. Rastafari, bless.